In Asia Pacific Missions, we are committed to creating a team culture to help you adjust to a new country, pace of life, language, and environment. Each of these episodes are designed to introduce you to the AP Reach team culture. Together, we are reaching the never reached.
We're talking about being relational. So why is this the one culture we have to get right?
That is a great question. I think a lot of people, they don't leave the field because they don't like the ministry, they don't feel called anymore. They leave the field because of poor relationships, or they don't feel connected.
When we talk about team relationships, we are talking about, keeping those relationships healthy, but how do we do that, right? We do that by hanging out together, by having meals together, by participating in our said hobbies together.
Yeah. I'm thinking too about, we talked about life rhythms before, but at least for us, part of our life rhythm is this relational aspect of we celebrate 4th of July together and Thanksgiving and Christmas. We have baby showers, we have bridal showers, we have birthday parties, these types of things that you just do in life. And it builds community within your team.
Yeah, I think, building these relationships is so important. It's so crucial, not just professional, but to be friends, to be part of this team. Because in, normal life, if you're working somewhere in America, you might become friends with your coworkers, but that's not your sole community. You have friends from church, you have your family nearby, maybe old friends nearby, but when you're a missionary, you're on the field, your team is your community. You don't know anybody else. That is the place where you need to be plugged in, right? Yeah. If you can't be plugged into your team, then you're not plugged into any community.
And it takes intentionality. It's not just going to happen. You're not just going to have deep relationships with team members because you're serving together. You could be strangers and be on the same team for 10 years. You have to try.
Yeah. A lot of times we can forget to do that or stop doing that. We just got to meet them. We got to build a relationship. Then once they get on the ground, they get running, then we kind of forget about it. Now we're just working together. We already mentioned that this field is really diverse. AP is really diverse, but each team is really diverse, right? People from different backgrounds, ethnicities, different areas of the country, different experiences, and just expectations. So how do we deal with that? Even in terms of ministry background, where do they come from? Where do they go to Bible school? Maybe they just came straight out as an MA. Different kind of, experience levels, different backgrounds, different stages of life. How do we handle that as a team and still connect well?
I think the best way to navigate this is that you have to be committed to good communication and to healthy conflict resolution, and being committed to growing in those areas and being quick to show grace. Assuming the best of people, choosing to trust where they're coming from instead of being suspicious of their intentions. Or
I think it helps too to come into your team with an expectation that people are not going to be like you, because you don't get to pick who's on your team. You don't get to pick where they're from, what they're coming in with, and so you're stepping into a cross-cultural relationship with the people from your host country, but you're also kind of stepping into a cross-cultural relationship with the people on your team. And so if I come into it, like what you said, showing grace, communicating, but also with an expectation that, this is not my family. This is not my high school friends. These are people who have their own experience. They have their own points of view, and I can honor them and learn from them. And I can work to know them and be known by them. And that, I think that helps putting that in of this is also part of my work. And being part of this team means I'm going to put in the work to figure out how to deal with the differences.
I like what you said, Lawrence, earlier about how we need to be gracious. Think that what everyone is doing, they're all doing it for the common goal of bringing God's kingdom here on earth as it is in heaven.
I like what you said about that, because we're diverse, but we all came to Jesus in a different way. Right?
Exactly.
And we all want to do effective ministry, but it can become a hindrance. The way I found Jesus is the way we got to do it. It's the way that most effective, because it's what I experienced. But as a team, taking our diverse backgrounds of how we came to Jesus and using that to create a ministry that's going to reach all types of people, not just the people like us.
I have a tip, but it's for the people who are receiving a new person as a team member. We want more people to come to Asia Pacific. We want more people to join these reach teams. So as they come, what do we do? I think it's really important to come into a new person coming in with an expectation that they are going to require more of your time than your current team members.
I think about for someone who's coming into the field for the first time, and show a lot of like grace and love, because the people that are in your team are also, are loving the people that you're serving.
But yeah, how we see Jesus being relational in his life, I was thinking that's also how he kind of sets up his kingdom, right? He says, this is how they will know you are my disciples, is how you love one another.
Yeah.
And as we are loving each other in our teams, in our reach teams, like Jesus loves us by washing each other's feet, by inviting people into our vulnerable places, our host culture, the people we're trying to reach, are going to see how we're loving one another, how we're loving on them, and that is going to move them towards the Lord. And so us being relational within our team can be such a powerful testimony to those that we are serving.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. You can find more resources about AP Reach Teams at asiapacificmissions.org. Together, we can reach the never reached.